that's not what this position is supposed to be. This position is taking notes, getting things done on a timely basis. But I do think the position has evolved. And I think in the backup minutes that you have right now, you mentioned about these Freedom of Information Act requests. So I guess my question would be, do some residents abuse this to where it forces our clerk an undue amount of time to constantly deal with these FOIA requests that come in on a regular basis that basically, I don't know what they accomplish. I'm not exactly sure what they accomplish. Maybe it meets some inner psyche of someone to feel like they've really got all the information that's there, but is that something now where this position has evolved, where this is all they're seeming like they do for half their day? Diane, you could probably speak to this right now.
Yes, I could.
Is half your day spent just doing FOIA requests?
In the microphone, I want to hear this too.
Last year we got 150 FOIA requests. We do get quite a few. There are some days that go by we get none. Some days we can get 3, and they can be the response can be quite voluminous at times.
Does it seem like
have repeat?
Does it seem like, yeah, that there's repeat offenders that just constantly?
Well, requesters, possibly.
I'm sorry, requesters, repeat offenders, right? Repeat. So you have repeat requesters that are trying to get down to this information to try to discover the magic bullet, right?
Well, they have a right to ask for
Oh, yeah, they have a right. You're exactly right. But is it an undue burden on the time of the city clerk?
I wouldn't call it an undue burden, but I will say this. With a lot of the foreclosures happening now, we're getting a lot of commercial requests for liens against the city or against the property code enforcement. So a lot of requests are coming from companies, real estates, some other types of firms like that that are looking for that information. We do have also, yes, a lot of citizens that submit FOIAs.
Gotcha.
Alderman Gallagher, if I could maybe speak to that a little bit. There are, as you know, there are many things that are required by state statute. Many of them are administrative in nature. And I think one of the questions that falls to the council as you consider this is whether responding to FOIA requests is certainly a very important duty of the city and one that we take very seriously. But the question might be whether an administrative task of that nature is something that requires the attention of a full-time elected official of the city, or if that's an administrative job that can best be handled by an administrative support person.
Notice how you segue into exactly what I'm saying, is that then do we want someone that has some office managerial experience that understands how to manage an office, how to manage requests, and have some type of flow chart set up to here's how you're going to do the request and here's what we have from a timely fashion to get it back, and be able to expedite that, who's an actual professional, as the mayor had mentioned, someone who understands how to run an office, versus a popularity contest, and you get someone in there and it could be, you might fall into a situation where things aren't being done.
Could I address that?
Sure.
At the last election, we had 5 candidates that ran for clerk. One of them was a former council member who had, I would assume, some knowledge of what the clerk did. Another one was a former deputy clerk. She was a deputy at the time. 3 of the other candidates never came to our office, to my knowledge, and asked what we exactly do there. So yes, we do get people, I believe, that would run for the clerk and not have the knowledge of what it really encompasses, the entire job, all the tasks. And it is a very complicated task. You have to be trained in the FOIA. We have to know the municipal code. We have to actually compose the ordinances and resolutions for every council meeting. And you have to be able to write and not just sit here and take notes. You have to be able to come up with a narrative from a council meeting.
Yeah, and that's exactly, thank you for explaining it that way, Diane, because that's the way that I've seen it, and I look at it, and again, my biggest concern is where's the check and balance? Where's the oversight on this? And that's why I thought if it was an appointed position within the hierarchy of the organizational structure that we've established here when we've drawn up our new org chart, that at least you would have something from an assistant city manager to be able to watch over that particular department. So there's some type of hiring process where you get someone in there that's qualified to do that particular position.
I myself agree that about an appointed position, and I have no issue with it being under the direction of the city manager. I don't see any conflict. I don't see any persuasion in the least there.
Thank you very much.